Welcome to Potato Place Gaming. Here we are playing episode 11 of The Chains of Perdition.
Go to the Chains of Perdition screen.
Go to Chains of Perdition screen. Show me potato salad.
I hit it.
There it goes. Hey, there we go. We've got this new logo. Probably the first of many logos. We can probably do some redesigns, different stuff with it. But that is what we're going with. And it is on a bunch of merch in our shop. Rob, what's the shop's name?
If you go to thepotatoplacegaming.com, there's a nice little button that says shop. That logo is on a bunch of t-shirts. There's some stickers. It is also on, if you want to grab the portraits behind you there, H Money.
Oh, yeah.
Now that we have the logo and stuff, there is a modified version of that on the shop with the Chains of Perdition logo as well.
Yeah.
So, buy some cool shit from us.
Yeah. Plus, 10% of the profits go to Extra Life. So,
Yay!
And that's why we're here. We're here to play games, steal kids, give back, game on.
Great job donating.
That donation link is down below. Also, if you go to the Potato Place Gaming website, down below.
Down here.
down. Oh,
Down.
Not
down.
Say
Down.
Wait.
In the bottom right.
Yeah, I already did that.
Yeah. It's
What if I just grabbed onto this bar here and then my head just slid?
Selena's here. She's just in a little screen next to Chris.
Yeah.
Wait.
Selena is the AI overlord.
She had to babysit.
You're. What's the name of the little German guy in Winter Soldier?
Zola?
Yeah.
Zola?
Yeah.
Zola.
I am in the computer.
Armin Zola?
Yeah. You're Armin Zola.
But yeah, that donation link is down below. You can also get to it from the Potato Place Gaming website. Thank you, Andreas of Fantastical Filament. He does most of our miniatures that we use for these games. Thank you, Julian at Astrograve. He's the one who did the Potato Place Gaming logo. Thank you, Rob. He's the one who did the Chains of Perdition logo. By that, I mean me.
Rob.
In 2
It's
weeks,
his evil twin.
remember, we will not be playing this game. Are we doing anything else?
Potentially.
Okay. But we are going to take that week off.
I forgot that was going to be a week off, and so I scheduled something for next week.
I mean, we could do something.
But we'll figure it out.
We'll talk about it.
Well,
We'll
figure something
You
out.
guys can do whatever. I'm not going to be in
Yeah, I know.
We will do
Pirates,
something.
question mark?
So,
Pirates anymore?
May 16th, we are not going to be playing this game. So we're going to be on a bit of a hiatus. We'll be on a bit of a hiatus for a while for this game because May 30th.
I don't know what screen you have that on, Jonathan.
What am I showing?
Oh, crap. I need to switch it on the fly.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm showing.
You don't have a
I
button
wasn't
for it, I
prepared.
think.
Nikki, do you know what's happening
I
on May
also
30th?
was not prepared, so that is also my fault.
Wedding.
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 The wedding of Leeward, Alras, Torin, and the reunion of the bullies at the Bed Dragon of Bluefield. By the way, I believe come Monday, I think it was May 5th last
He said
year.
come.
Well, I'm going to
I believe it was May 5th last year that we wrapped up that campaign, so it has been close to a year.
Slow clap.
So that's gonna be a two-parter.
There we
We're
go.
gonna do 2 weeks in a row. We'll do May 30th and June 6th, both with that story, and then we will be
Now you
back
do it.
on June 13th,
Merch.
the following week, for
The merch button, Nikki.
the return of. Oh, there it is! Yay! May 30th! Woo! And then we'll be back on June 13th to continue the Chains of Perdition story. So we're going to be coming. We're going to take a break, like 3-week break, and then we'll be at you 3 Fridays in a row.
I mean, for 3
Boom.
Fridays. 3 Fridays of playtime.
It's also a new month.
It is a
yeah.
new month. Also, anything you donate in the next 3 months or so, we don't know. We're going to do the same thing with Captain Falcon Helmet. You'll be
Diva!
entered to win this. Don't look at that price tag.
Near this.
Yes. We're getting rid of all of our Overwatch merch because we play Marvel Rivals now.
I think Nikki has something to say about that.
Yeah, Nikki just likes bad games.
No,
Good games that the devs have ruined.
What, Diva? Sorry.
We'll probably have some more giveaway stuff. Definitely, actually, we'll have more giveaway stuff. But maybe
Yeah,
we'll
we have
end
a
that
couple
around
things.
August, September.
On the quarter.
Sometime around
Yeah.
there.
I have a couple things. I've got one. I know Nikki, I think, has got something too.
Yeah.
We just haven't.
We'll
planned
figure it out.
I have to
Um,
see how useful it
Do we have any other announcements? Any events or anything we are doing?
Speaker Renaissance Festival.
Speaker Renaissance Festival will be coming up in June. I don't know what our capacity is in that show yet.
When
but,
in June?
June 21st and 22nd in Topeka at the Woodshed Conference and Event Center. And they're in the woods behind. But I support the heck out of them because I think it'd be cool to have a Ren Fest in Topeka. So they are on Facebook and other social medias. So check it out. Yeah, we are putting up with Hoffman's Dumbass in July.
And
Will
I
there be fireworks
believe
in July 6th? I believe it is allowed in the city of Topeka.
July 6th? Yeah, it goes through
Yes.
the 7th, I believe.
You know who we have to thank for that?
Councilman Brett Blackford.
Councilman Brett
Former
Blackford.
councilman.
Former councilman. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, Hoffman.
Trying to think of anything else. We do have coming up here sometime in the summer, maybe during our little break that we have. I don't know. We're going to be doing a little bit of Fusro Duo. You'll see that kind of cycling around there. Every other Sunday, not this Sunday, our lovely Chris. Is it on Twitch that you do it, or is it on YouTube?
YouTube's.
On YouTube.com. You can watch. You can watch the live stream of is it Atmos Black?
He has one.
Cyberpunk
I sound very different.
tabletop role playing game that they play with some new faces and new voices.
That wasn't a
check that
die.
out.
I could
We
not be more of
actually
a
have
different character.
a mini campaign running alongside the main campaign
Yes.
right now, the ATWE Atmos Tramway Express System mini campaign that's actually coming up on May 10th on Sunday.
Yeah, I heard something blew up there.
I don't know.
You should tune in and watch and see what
Probably.
blew up.
Lots of drama. If you like drama,
Also,
watch.
Oh yeah,
everybody-
yeah, that's a drama.
Drama watch.
Everybody in that game is hot. There's not a
Yeah.
non-hot character.
Even the lizard guy?
Even Key, the robot guy.
Yeah,
They're all hot.
everybody in the game is hot.
Yeah.
You know,
Even the rabbit.
even you don't make ugly characters.
No.
I don't know, for the bullies of the Bed Dragon and Bluefield, I mean, I know that they're two dwarfs, and that's not everybody's thing, but they're not unattractive by any means. It's like fucking Skarsgård and Jeff Bridges.
Let me tell you something. People. This is a fantasy, and if you want to make your character hot, you, by God, should make your character hot.
Yeah.
That's my soapbox.
100%.
Who would play Ghost Hack in live action? Would it be Jeff Bridges, or would it be Kurt Russell?
Ooh.
Kurt Russell will be good.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges is more the vibe.
Yeah.
It's a new month, by the way.
Oh yeah, it is a new month.
Yeah. Month and stuff.
I don't know who
Keanu
Bill
Reeves.
Skarsgård. One of the Skarsgård.
Actually,
Yeah.
Skarsgård.
who's the
Any of them.
lead actor in
Alexander,
the
Bill.
Dune movies?
You could even have fucking Oscar
That's right.
Isaac.
for Oscar.
I know that it's just because Oscar, but
Oscar Isaac
You
would be
know
good
who
too.
Leo Word is? It's the Iron Fist guy.
Yeah.
No,
Danny Rand.
it's
Danny
either
Rand.
Danny Rand or the guy that played
Peter Dinklage would have to play Oscar.
what's the guy from Game of Thrones name? He played the guy that killed John Wick's dog. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
John Wick.
Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones.
I don't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, that one would be good.
No.
Natalie Portman.
Or
Navarro.
Olivia Munn is my other.
Yeah, Olivia Munn would be good. Okay,
What
let's.
was the
Okay,
Pirates
what
of the
was Pandora,
Caribbean lady?
Selena? That's the only one we don't have.
What's her name from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Keira Knightley.
Keira
Yeah,
Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, May's pretty good. All right, so let's do a year in review. We got January. January is Arctic Wolf Pup. February, Ice Hot Guy.
Yeah, it's just Namor in the ice.
March,
Well, I think the next one's Namor as well.
Wood Elf, I guess.
Yeah.
April. Hot Guy in the Shower.
Okay.
Don't show us.
Oh, now you just showed us.
Hey,
That's a fairy. Yeah, fairy elf.
It's not what I was saying.
I know. I got my.
Fucked it up.
Well,
It's all right.
anyway.
So excited about
Wait,
the
we gotta
fairy.
redo this. Everyone,
I was gonna say,
Close their
I
eyes.
was gonna say fairy, but definitely the flowers.
That's not what I was gonna guess.
April showers bring May flowers.
Selena, who did you say for Pandora? I missed it. Hey, I'm gonna give it to Hoffman. He said fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking Keira Knightley for
I think she's too prim
Navarro.
for an
I think that girl who was in the Mandalorian is Big Caribbean.
Oh,
Pandora.
Gina
I
Carano.
don't know her name.
I think she's too rough.
She's way too rough.
She's too rough. She's too.
The
anything that
Ooh,
close
The
to
lady
fire.
from Jurassic Park.
I've
the
got a
first
good one.
She was in Star Wars
What
as well.
about Zendaya?
Zendaya would be good.
Yeah.
She's
She's very tall, very skinny.
Yeah, I can see it.
Has
Well-
the more like olive skin complexion like
Yeah.
Pandora does.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, that's what Navarro had, but she got kind of whitewashed with the art. So
She didn't.
Yeah, she's still kind of tan.
Oh yeah, that's right. I threw that picture away.
Yeah.
She's still kind of tan.
Okay. I think that's everything.
It's the deal with the devil that turned your skin white. That's what happened.
play that intro.
The intro.
all right. Woo.
Last we left off, the chains of perdition found themselves in a cave. A cave, I don't remember how
Of
many miles I
wonder?
said, a ways away from Brimshire. There you had a small resistance led by Sir Canyo. Sir Ricard Canyo, retired
That's why I did that.
knight. Cersei, you said your goodbyes to your brother and your sister, knowing that you probably wouldn't be seeing them again, as whenever you took care of business, you would need to run. As you guys made your way into town, you all kind of looked at Sir Canyo very fondly, and then you heard the piercing voice of Lilith in your head saying, just remember, no. Just remember, he might be your ally now, but he is your enemy in other regards. You guys did not know what that meant yet, but you would soon find out. You made your way to the town, where the pirates were getting ready to leave, to flee, to run away. You guys got into some combats. Half of you went to go stop a group of people that were going into the church to try to kidnap Sister Morrow. The other half of you, actually not the other half,
It was just Canyo and
in Pandora went to go...
Pandora.
Cersei.
yeah, Cersei. Sorry, I've got that.
We were talking about the other campaign.
Yeah. To go rescue Hewitt. Cersei and Sir Canyo went there to rescue Hewitt and bring him to safety. You guys did that. You met back up with Sister Morrow. Sister Morrow was like, okay, whenever the crown comes to investigate, because by now probably the entire realm knows that
Oops.
there's not only traitors, being you guys, or the crown's idea of traitors, but the queen-to-be is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Probably news that will shatter the realm and plunge it back into another civil war.
Woo!
She asked what she should tell the crown. What should they call you? A witch. I don't remember who said it, but that is when
I
you
think Lilith.
named
Lilith.
yourself.
Lilith told us.
Well, yeah, but I don't remember who told. It's a moment. Lilith can tell you guys what you're called, but then it's up to one of you to tell.
Oh, yeah.
I
I don't
don't remember
remember.
off the top of my head either.
Go back and watch the last stream.
Yeah.
The newly found chains of perdition made themselves known. If you buy a shirt and wear it around your grandma, she'll probably think you're a devil worshiper with all those words.
Or you're really into the
Yeah, just say-
Path to Perdition book.
Just say it's a band, if anybody asks.
Yeah.
No, say it's an awesome tabletop role playing
That's
game.
right.
Actual play.
You guys then made your way to the ship. You guys were able to get some information from a few of the pirates. Half of the goods, like all the valuables, were being located on Thodak Dre, the Red Wake ship, and like all the goods and things like that were being loaded onto Hamlin ship. You guys would probably would have picked up that that's Hamlin being smart and being like, if we get pulled over, not pulled over, you know what I mean. I mean, like boarded by anybody from the crown, I want it to look like we're not a ship that just stole a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so you went aboard the Red Wake ship. You were able to get your gear back and also stumbled across some black powder.
Yeah, we
pretty good
did.
distraction. You blew up that ship, made your way back to Hamlin ship. And upon that explosion, that's where the fight broke out. Hamlin kept on egging on Sir Canyo, saying, "Where's the monster? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?" You guys had varying ideas of what that meant. Soon to be found out, Sir Canyo turned into a werewolf.
Oops.
Yeah.
Thank God for Moonbeam.
A man once high on his values and morals had to make a deal to save those that he loved.
Can relate.
Similar to you, opposite side of the same coin. There was a fight. Sir Kanyo was gravely injured before he turned into a werewolf. Had he been kept a werewolf, he might have healed, but he was
Killing us.
Yeah,
And
he lost control.
I believe Cersei went down,
Mm-hmm.
almost died. Sir Kanyo turned back into his mortal self, which soon died. If I remember correctly, he had a big cut going down to about halfway down his chest.
From the
Courtesy of Thodak Dre the Redwake. And then when it was just Hamlin left, he took
the
himself
coward's
all the way
way
out
out.
to the mast, and took the coward's way out, along with his body and any of his goods along with him.
Damn it! I wanted that gun.
As you guys look around, you see yourselves. You're maybe, what did I say, like a quarter mile, half mile out, as the ship has just kind of been floating since the explosion. So as all this happens, you see Sir Kanyo's limp body leaning against the mast, kind of full, almost kind of like splitting in half. That's where we'll start the session. Cersei, as you see Sir Kanyo's lifeless body, one of the last things he said to you was, sorry. Not in that tone. He'd apologized. He said that it's the only way he could have protected your siblings and anybody that he still cared about. The only thing that gave him the power to fight. An old knight found one last trick. So, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna come down because I was up on top of the up top.
spell.
Yeah, so you
No, use that one.
Yep. You grab onto one of the sails and kind of like
from most
pull your way
different source
down. Make an acrobatics check.
Don't mess up my character again where I have to rebuild it.
22.
22, yep. And gracefully, with no complications, you slide all the way down, catching yourself and landing right at his body. You do look at him,
Why
and
is that one even
it's just right
I didn't click.
where like the neck meets the shoulder. He is split in half, and it looks like the wound probably goes like a good 12,
There you go.
14 inches
I don't know why.
towards his heart. You just look over his body, and there's no question he is dead.
This tears welling in my eyes. I'm just whispering, I forgive you. And like, if his eyes were open, I would like close them.
Okay.
And then kind of place his arms in his lap. And look at everybody. I don't know what we're going to do with his body.
Righto. Is there a proper
Yeah,
rights at sea?
would I know any?
I can light it. I am.
Knights die in a lot of ways. They're buried in a lot of ways
I don't
too.
think you want to keep him on the boat.
Well, because I don't want out of character. I'm like, I don't think it's probably proper just to kick him off the boat.
No, this isn't a feather situation.
But I'm probably. I mean, I don't. Do I know of any usual normal rights for?
Well, didn't he want to be buried with his family?
We can't turn this. We can't.
We took off already?
Yes.
Yeah. We're
He
already
died at the
outside.
dock, and we took the body with us?
I point, and you see we're like a quarter of a mile away from land.
So when the
So we're not that far, just pack the ship up and we go back.
I don't
Ships
think
don't
it
work
works
that way.
Why did we leave with him? He was
We
supposed to stay with his family.
So when the explosion happened, when you guys were going up to initiate the fight, the explosion
Gotcha.
jarred everything.
We were untethered, darling.
Well, we just put him on a boat and we kick him towards the shore.
I'm
What
not
about-
quite sure
listen,
if he'll actually make it that far.
Well,
Now,
the waves ought to
question
push
for
him
the
in.
DM, are there any sort of funeral? Because I come from a place of fire. You know,
But
Do
he
you have
was
any
very
sort of-
specific about how he wanted to be buried.
rituals
But
of that
I don't think
nature
it's that they
You know
would
what I
be put
mean?
in the middle of the ocean.
that I would know.
You know that Sir Canio probably would have wanted to have been put to rest in a way that seems fit for a knight. He probably, if he were to be given the choice, would be buried in his yard. But you also know he probably doesn't hold that stuff too sacred, seeing as he faked his own burial and death. You know that knights have been buried in several different ways.
I just don't think we should
Some
throw
of them
in the
have been
water.
burned. Some of them have been given like the Vikings.
That's what I was thinking. I was
You know,
thinking
like
maybe
the
put them on-
Vikings funeral.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting them on a boat and just set them away, and then you can set the thing ablaze as seas.
That would be appropriate. You would know that that's not out of the realm of
I can press
appropriateness for
Alright,
a knight's burial. Are you guys doing it right now, or are you waiting till you get a little bit further?
No.
I would like to. Yes, let's wait.
Nate is going to make sure that we're not going to
And
float
then tonight-
back.
We can have a nice little going to see ceremony.
So make a survival check. And are you proficient in boating or
Yes,
vehicles?
that was one of
Do
the
you have
things you.
expertise, or
Who's
is it
making the
just
survival check?
They don't have expertise for
whoever
tools.
you? Are you doing anything to assist Locke as he's
Have I been on a boat before?
Have you?
probably
know.
not?
I mean, was I on that one island? So how did I
get?
get to the main island?
Which island?
The one
Heart
where he rescued me,
Oh.
or was that somewhere else?
That was still in
That was
island.
still on
Yeah.
this island.
A pretty big island.
Cersei, if you don't mind, I will take Sir Kanya's body down below deck, and
I'll assist just by
Okay.
trying to help read the weather. How's that?
Sure.
if you don't mind me doing that.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and make that survival check. You can add your proficiency for.
Yep.
Is survival, is that fair for driving a boat?
I mean,
Yes.
Could be.
Even
That or straight intelligence, but
carry it down.
21 survival if you want to use that.
You
20,
make a nature check. How about that?
22
Same dice or
survival.
reroll it.
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
It'd be 16 if it was nature.
The skies don't look dark. It's later in the afternoon now.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I know you gave me proficiency with watercraft. They don't really do expertise with tools.
If you ever wanted to take that for one of your things, if you get expertise and you wanted to get it in driving a boat, you can do that.
But 22 on my survival check.
Okay, so you are doing pretty good.
I'm gonna take Sir Kanya's body down below deck. Now I'm gonna find a flat spot to lay his body down and cover it.
Okay. Yeah, so you do find like a tarp, and you kind of, bolt a fabric or whatever, kind of wrap him up, kind of push his chest back together in the most respectful way you can. Pick him up. Be kind of like a tan brownish colored piece of fabric you wrapped him up in. By the time you get him down, put him down, like clear off a space on like a table down below deck. As you do look down below deck, you do see quite a few animals. You see all of your horses. You see
Mopsy.
2 cows. You see 3 pigs. Maybe like half a dozen chickens.
Queen Bacon.
Well, so what you're saying is that we probably got plenty of food.
Yep. And by the time that you do get a nice place for him that is respectful, the tan-colored cloth wrapping him is now a dark crimson red. As the majority of his blood is probably leaked out.
Yeah, there's not much
but
I
you
can do
do-
about that.
Set him as respectfully as the situation allows.
Can I assist?
Sure.
Please?
Yeah. So as you go down below deck, you do see Booker kind of clear off the space and does rest Circonio on there. He's now completely kind of covered like a mummy, I guess is.
I looked through the. Did we leave him with his belongings, or did we take?
Well, I mean, I probably would have taken his belongings down with him. I would have kept it with his body.
Pull out the lavender crown that I made for him, and I will take off one piece of lavender and put it in my my sketchbook. And then I'll put the rest of the crown on his head. That's better. It's all good now.
Booker, there, as you look at him, to a point in your life where it would have been pretty cool to say that you were part of the party responsible for killing the greatest knight to ever knight, but it doesn't quite
It's a bit
hit
sour.
the same now.
Yeah.
There's also a part of you looking at him that makes you think that could very well be your future.
I've thought about that being my future quite a lot.
Memento mori is what you think as you look at him. Remember, you must die. Tomorrow's not a given. Vivian, what are you doing?
I don't really feel especially useful in the moment because I don't feel. I mean, I'm grateful for what Circonio did, but I don't feel especially. I feel a bit detached from him, and I'm a little more thoughtful about the pressure that is now on my shoulders, not just the devil that I am now bound to, but also I may have to be the face of one half of a civil war, and it is very heavy. So she's just going to walk quietly sort of to the bow of the ship and sort of get lost in thought and think about how her life should have been and she would have liked it to been, and now it's something much, much different and darker. And she's not sure what to think about it.
As you do that, you do feel kind of a barbed tail wrap around your arm as Bean is on your shoulder.
Do not be sad. He was evil. He needed to die. He goes against your mistress.
That's the trouble, Bean, is I'm not especially sad. I sort of see it as just another thing that's happened along the way and then loss. I feel like I would have been sad once, but I'm not.
In this life you live now, there are many links to the chain you climb. Some are insignificant, others are not.
It's just I can't worry too much about those left behind. There's too much ahead. That's how I feel. Right now, at least. Queen's an awfully important title. Didn't really want it. But I suppose it's what I've got to do now.
I do not believe the Queen of the Damned wanted that title either. But it is hers.
And I suppose we have that in common.
So, what are you guys doing as the ship begins to sail? Nightfall begins to set.
As soon as I know that we're on a pathway, safer pathway out of there.
Yeah, it's you're in the Crystal Vale, not really rocky sailing. So you do, by the way, as you're sailing, you do get a decent look at the ship, the Storm Serpent, kind of darker wood. The sails are kind of like a dark maroon color. In the flag that is being, or like not the flag on the actual sail, it does have the house symbol of the Fabian house, which is kind of like an open set of hands. You two could probably make a history check on that. You wouldn't know this one, Booker. Sorry. Sammy definitely wouldn't.
I didn't.
I
roll
for
well.
sure.
Cersei,
know.
you could make a history check too.
I've spent most of my life in the Diamond City, so
I'm very well traveled.
17 plus.
Okay.
Sorry.
I rolled like bad.
21. Okay, so you two would know that symbol. It's to represent kind of like an open hand, to represent the trade post that. Why am I blanking on the name?
Fabian.
No, the name Brimshire is kind of founded upon. But this symbol, you see, Hamlin kind of bastardized it, and you see there's like a snake kind of winding throughout a lot of the fingers there, and kind of like rising up in a striking pose. Kind of looks like it's like a middle finger to the crown, saying,
You do are.
"Yeah."
Well, I like that, actually.
But it is not. It's a fast ship. It's kind of incognito, but it's also one that could probably be remembered.
Where do we go? Oh, well, actually, I'm just saying that about
So-
myself, so.
I would try to find the cabin
Mm-hmm.
and see what kind of paperwork and maps were here, and see what maybe they had already plotted direction-wise.
Sure.
Just trying to find any semblance of the next steps.
So you do go down to the captain's area. Does anybody go with Locke to do this, or is it just Locke looking?
I think it's just locked.
I mean, I don't know how much help I'd be.
All right. So Cersei and Locke, you both can make investigation checks.
This is the same day of our combat, right?
Yep. It's getting to the evening. I'd say the sun's just
16.
about to go down. 16. What'd you get, Cersei?
13.
13. So it does take you guys some time. It's not the fanciest captain's quarters. It's not terrible. Looks like there's a cot. Looks like there's kind of like a small desk pushed off to the side. There's lots of like hides and furs and things like that. Some of them might be a little bit of value. Looks like some of them would be really good for like keeping you warm, like keeping water off of you, things like that. You do find a few like letters that are kind of drafted up, and they look to be like they're addressed to the king, to anybody in the Diamond Crown, saying we have Vivian Villeneuve, we have Aemon Dayshield, we have traders, things like that. There is a map, and there seem to be a few points that are kind of look a little bit. There's nothing like a pin stuck in any of them, but a few of them that are kind of a little bit more worn, and just the way that the stuff is kind of scattered across. It looks like they might have been like plotting to take you guys way to the west beyond the Wall of Fire and selling you into slavery. I think that is kind of one of the things they were telling you about. But all paths seem like they would have probably stopped at the Diamond City for extortion. Not too sure exactly, though.
I'm still contemplating it. But,
Yes,
I probably would have found you.
I'm contemplating is a good word for it. Thinking.
Because I've had experience with not pirates, but not pirates. While I'm looking around, I'm going to see if I can't find any like secret compartments.
With your investigation that you roll, you do not find it.
Okay. I guess I'll look at the map and I know where I don't want to go.
From what you gather, that looks like places you don't want to go.
Yeah.
Let's not go to the
Yeah.
But where do we want
east
to
or the
go?
west.
Are you all reconvening?
I think so. Oh
Okay.
yeah, are we?
Well,
we need to-
I was just gonna bug you if it doesn't
Don't
have to
bug
be.
away.
It doesn't have to be role played.
Staring forlornly and thoughtfully into the distance.
We played D&D, John. It does have to be rolled.
Captain Nate,
Yes.
I wander.
where are we going?
We'll wait for that to go done first.
I'll wander over to Vivian.
And you do see her up on the
Oh boy.
I
top.
just want to make.
Oh boy!
I just want to see what's about.
I don't look sad, and I don't know how you feel about that. No, I don't.
I'm not pouting.
Couple full of thoughts.
What?
Sorry.
I want to know what you said too.
Said copper for your thoughts.
Copper.
Oh,
Copwee.
yeah, sorry, I was
Copley.
thinking. We have quite a bit ahead of us, people, and it's going to be very ugly. And I feel like I should be more scared or sad. And I'm not really either. I think I'm just too tired and too angry.
I heard that too, Sarah.
Upway. And I don't know if I should be worried about that, but I suppose we don't really have time to worry.
We've gotten ourselves out. I would say pretty
Out of
pretty
hell,
bad,
Olga.
pretty
Out
bad
of hell.
situations.
It's just
I don't-
it's different now. It's not just running or surviving. It's starting a revolution. It's becoming the other side of something we hate. But if we do it, I don't want to be like them.
I don't think you will.
I haven't really started a very good track record with the whole devil thing. I don't think. Sorry.
No. I mean, like I said, if you've no. I mean, you haven't done anything quite as bad as I've seen, so you're doing
Not
fine.
yet. At least I didn't become a werewolf, I suppose. That was.
No,
It must have been a difficult-
that might be.
It must have been a difficult decision for Sakanya. He did seem like a good man. I'm just a little bit bothered that he chose to judge me for my decisions, knowing the ones he made. It's a matter of perspective, I suppose.
Make an insight check.
I can only think of the things that he would think of me, and the things I've done.
Well, you protected me. I think you'd be alright with that.
Talking about
15.
stuff that I've.
You would get from his tone that he didn't necessarily judge you for what you
I thought it was a
have
shame,
done.
probably.
He was more so judging himself. In the real
He was lashing
animosity,
out a bit at me because he knew he was in a similar.
the real animosity also probably came from the innate disparity that devils and demons have. So it's something that he probably couldn't control as well as he wanted
Well,
to.
one thing's for certain. None of us would be in this situation if it weren't for the Diamond Crown. I realize that there are demons involved and they're pulling their strings, but they're still humans making choices like us. Well, not humans anyway, some of us. And
some of us that don't get to make the decisions.
no, but we are going to have to start making decisions with people, I think. That part's a bit scary.
I, for one, I'm glad to, at least for the most part, be free of.
Traded some chains for another?
Well, these chains seem
I
to
have to
fit me a
joke
little
about it,
bit
it
better.
makes me feel
No,
better.
it's good. It's good to joke about it.
I just humor's a bit better than being sad. I did my sadness. I'm a bit over this. I mean, I'm not over being sad. I'm very sad about my family, but I'm done crying. I think I've cried as much as I ever needed to. I'm just mad. Very mad. You're somebody who's mad a lot, so I'm trying to confide in you. I don't know how you channel it, and I'm trying to.
I will say.
Sometimes I just want to reach into whatever's inside of me now and just throw it all out at everyone. And that part scares me a bit. Because I don't want to hurt all of you. Sometimes I just want to let it all out. Down the consequences.
I definitely understand that. And again, you have a good soul. Much better than mine.
Well, you've never been anything but protected for me, so don't forget that. You're doing some good work. And you've protected our new friends.
It is true, Booker, you have not broken your oath. At every turn, it would have been beneficial for you to break your oath, and you have not.
Well, I'm not
Some
one
call
to
it
break my
loyal.
oath. So
You could call it being loyal, or you could call it being stubborn.
probably a
Stubborn
little
as
bit
an
of
ox.
Well,
Do you put on your armor?
Probably not yet.
Okay. You can now, just remember.
I know, but
Just take it off before bed, though.
Yeah, well, if you want to just put it back on, it's been probably a really long time since you've gotten to wear that armor.
It's
been a week since you looked at me.
It's more of a thing that
been a while.
with donning the armor is kind of one of those things that it's a part of my life that is
Are we in
not
character? Are we in character, or is this to the DM? I'm
to
sorry.
the DM.
Okay.
Is bringing back a part of my life that Booker would much rather forget.
I have a thought, Booker. I didn't hear any of that. I'm thinking about your armor because it's there now. Because we don't have Sirconia's armor, correct?
No, we do.
Nope.
I thought it was on the ship with
It got taken by the
That's
bastard.
okay.
Oh,
When you went to go steal everything off Thodak Dre's ship, you overheard him yelling about Valeric Marbrand, the Lord Turned Pirate, the bastard
Yeah, that's
Lord
right.
Turned Pirate, taking the armor and leaving.
oh,
You remember that? Yeah, you remember the
Yeah.
ship that.
So
yeah.
no, I remember that.
Yep.
You remind. Yeah,
I know that you haven't put your armor back on. I'm sure you have many reasons for that. But I think it's time. And I think it's time that we use it as a symbol. We're going to need a lot of symbolism to sort of convince people. But if there's any part of the Diamond Crown left on it, I think we'd rather have.
It is embossed.
yeah.
I know, but we'll just do a big old, giant, you know.
I mean,
You know
it is
how-
a bit a little
you know
rough
how-
around the edges. But
So,
Hamlin,
the main. What?
Hamlin,
What?
who's the
Hamlin.
pirate? The pirate that just killed
What?
himself?
Yes, that was
Hamlin.
Hamlin. Uh-huh.
You know how Hamlin took the sort of brand here and made it like a screw you to. Maybe we can do something like that.
So, your armor does have the ox on it. Like, that's its main thing. but kind of embossed like up near like where the cloak would clip into. That's where you kind of see the diamond like symbol. And you as a knight would know that the symbol on your chest means a lot less than the symbol you wear on your back, meaning the color of cloak you wear.
Colors.
You are wearing a red cloak.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm sworn to her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, we can dispatch that later. Maybe we do that. Maybe it's fun. Might be therapy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. It's definitely something.
I just think if you have any trepidation about putting it on again, remember that now you get to decide what it means. We should probably go talk to the others.
Yeah, I do see them kind of convenient over there. I guess we should go.
Do I find any booze?
Yeah,
I'll say yes to that.
you found a couple bottles.
I'll pilfer those. And take them up to the
Yeah,
deck.
You
You're
give
gonna
them,
pill
you
for
give
the
them all a
pilsner.
whiff. They do smell like rum and
Yeah.
maybe some like clear spirits.
It's wrong.
Not the highest quality, but it will do the trick if that is what you're looking to
It's
do.
not the worst stuff I've ever had, probably.
Probably not. Definitely nothing compared to what.
Home is, but I
Yeah.
mean, I've
He's been on the road.
done some traveling.
He's been in the dingy bars. Really?
I'll take some rock gut.
I'll find some. I imagine there's some wooden mugs or something that I can pass along to everybody.
No, we're not just passing them off.
Well, I figured.
Yeah, you can
We-
find some like wooden cups, mugs, things like that.
Should have a drink to those who have fallen. And passing the bottle around doesn't really work as well for that.
That's true.
So I will pour a glass for everybody. And then pour one out for the homies.
There it is.
I didn't know the man, but he did save our lives, and we would not be in the position we are right now, safe, without him. And
You all have the glasses.
huh?
You all have the glasses.
I gave everybody a glass, yeah.
Cheers.
Well, I was going to do a pause and wait for anybody else to speak before we cheers.
CSC, do you have anything to say? Does the small child on your lap have anything to say?
So I would just hold up my drink, and you were a father to me longer than my own father, and you looked after everybody. And I just want you to know that I forgive you, and I hope that one day I see you in the afterlife, and I hope that I have made you proud. And I'll take a drink.
And as we all take our drinks, I will pour some on the deck of the ship. To those we've lost, to those we have found, there is a new adventure that awaits us. The nights will be cold, but hopefully, with this chain around us, we can do something that inspires and brings new hope.
Fire inside will keep us warm.
And this lovely alcohol will keep us warm too.
I've never had it.
Oh, you're going to be in for quite a treat.
Don't expect it to taste especially good. That's not.
It's going to taste bad to you, Sammy.
Sammy, make a constitution.
We're going to see
That's
if
my
Sammy's a lightweight.
Lightweight, baby.
This so spicy.
What'd you get?
9.
You could probably muscle it down, but sipping would
This
be.
so
Great.
spicy.
Yeah, what's wrong?
And then I also just throw the bottle off the deck after it's emptied.
Wait, they're talking about this. I mean, I guess it's a little rough, but
Yes.
I'll take yours.
It's more about how it makes you feel if you drink enough.
It makes me feel like my nose is on fire.
See, after like a minute or so, you do feel a little bit of a tingle, a little bit of lightheadedness. If you never had it before, that amount you sipped. It's probably enough to get a little something going.
Sirconio scarred us, but he also saved us from getting scarred.
That was very profound.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thought.
Are you going to be okay? Do you need to lie down?
I'm fine.
Not
It's
a
just
fucking
really
clue.
Spicy.
We know where we're not going.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places that he has pinned that's definitely not where we're going.
So, what do we think about going south?
I've got the map
What
pulled
do
up.
we think?
So,
Far south.
you do know, just reminding everybody, that this is a southern hemisphere kind of world. Further south you go, the colder it gets.
Yes, but
Vivian,
yes. That's
there
right.
is a place
Yes.
that might interest you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is it the place I'm thinking of?
Let's hear it.
Where my mother was from.
That's exactly it.
Which I'm trying to remember if she was from.
Was your mother the elf?
Yes.
That is what I thought.
It was
So,
Summerfield or Whitehaven.
Summerfield is where your mother's
That's
from.
what I thought. I
Her
thought it was
maiden
ironic
name?
because it's down in the cold. But they call
Hmm.
it
Well,
Summerfield.
Summerfield is,
The warmest
if you
part.
do recall, it is the
Yes.
warmest part,
That's
and the
why she
only
didn't hate where she had to
the
live.
only part in the Topaz Tundra, which is usually snowy, mountainous, frigid, cold. Think Canada.
It's so silly that they name it Summerfield when it's so cold.
Out of character. What was it with halvesies and getting and their mothers being the ones that help?
They might as well have named it Greenland. They
Elves are girls, John. Everybody knows this.
With Leah Woods and Vivian's moms are both elves.
Orlando Bloom played that elf
fairness-
chick in Lord of the Rings.
Let him decide. I let him decide. I think
So,
it's because they get lonelier. Maybe the male elves they have sex with everybody, so it's not really a commitment. But the lady elves,
you know,
they're like
Summerfield.
Arwen. They find a
Do they have low
commitment.
elf-esteem?
Yeah.
They just like
Summerfield
reenacting Lord of the Rings and have Aragorn and
is about right
They
there.
like to suffer.
You guys listening?
Yep.
I know you guys are listening.
Oh, I had the
So you
map
guys
pulled
are
up.
about right here.
Yep.
Summerfield is about right down there.
Yep.
Don't we have to
on
go
that
around? Because weren't we at the top of that island?
No, you're about
Well,
right
we're
at the
kinda
bottom.
on the slide.
You're about right here, and you
Yeah.
probably came down to about right there.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Hartmeyer's right there.
So-
okay.
To go
We're
this
about right
far,
here.
you're looking at
Gotcha.
like 3, maybe 4 weeks of travel.
Yes.
You're also going. You would
you
also.
have to bypass the diamond.
Yeah, the Diamond City's right here.
Yes.
So scary.
Very.
the
Other-
Shattered Isles.
You okay?
The Shattered Isles are. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map that you have on
World
the
Anvil.
island, So, the Shattered Isles are on the bottom of the Diamond Lands.
Yep, that is right there. Am I holding it too low? There we go. Other places.
Just switch to him.
Huh?
Just switch to him since he has the map up.
Oh, yes. That's a good point. I mean, we could go north, but I don't know if I feel like they looked for me from where I was from when I did.
So,
You know what I mean?
Locke.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Whenever everybody starts kind of talking about places where you feel safe, the thought of home feels a little bit nice. Amhole is about right there,
Yeah.
where you're from. As you guys do kind of think a little bit more of allies, possible places you could go that wouldn't be terrible, the Purple Cloaks
Amethysts.
did come help. They're from Cliffmire, which is about right there. I will say, you don't know
I don't
anybody
know.
personally, and neither do you there, so that one might be a little bit of a stretch.
Well, we know
But,
the captain
yeah.
we helped. Is he still alive? Did he make it?
Who?
They have somebody
We
they
helped
know.
that captain get into the city. Yeah.
Last you saw of him,
He kind of ran away from us. But
yes, last you
help him.
saw of. Let's see, I have his name here somewhere. Ognar. He said, "Thanks, guys. See you
Peace
later."
out. I
You don't
don't.
know.
I mean, here's the thing. Part of this whole Michigas that we're in, we do have to build our allyships because we're trying to convince people to go against the crown.
Well,
And while we can go to like my mother's lands, we're also bringing trouble to my mother's lands, and they may come looking there.
You also know that your mother's lands are probably already caught up in trouble
That's true.
by association.
Yes. Lots of subjugation. So they may be very motivated to be like, okay, you're still alive. Let's a pox on the crown, perhaps.
Well-
but you know.
Nate, is there somewhere you wanted to go?
I mean, we can always. It would if we were going to go to Summerfield. Going straight south would not be a smart decision, just because we will be so close to the Diamond Lands.
Well,
Do you think we
do
can
we have?
pass through the Amethyst Isles
I was going to say,
safely?
is Amethyst Isles neutral enough that we can?
We were going to help Hotline until I realized it was a shit.
You do also, like, if you're talking about physically going through the Amethyst Isles,
That's
that's
very
the really,
difficult,
like,
yes.
tall, jagged, kind of rocky area. So
Yes.
you do have a pretty good,
Captain?
yes. I
Boat
almost said
train?
pilot, and I was like, no.
Helmsman?
Boat driver.
Boatist. He's a boatist. A boat enthusiast.
Sailor.
What would be the boat version of a foamer? A
A
weaver?
boater. A waver.
Do we have anything that we can
Seaman.
offer the Purple Cloaks that
He's
we
a
couldn't
great
offer them
seaman.
before?
I do think that they had
Siemens are
an inkling on what was going on in Hartmire.
But now they hold all the leverage unless we come up with something.
By that, I mean they might be on the side against the demons.
Well, the question is, do we want to risk associating with the purple people, or do we want to go
So-
straight to...
From what you guys know, they were there to help, and they might have had an inkling on that.
Yes.
But
Shit
it
happened.
also could have just been a house trying to
Curry
help
favor.
those in need. Yeah.
I
It's
think
been done before. I heard the people in the Emerald Grove were very helpful to people until they got obliterated. So the legends say.
the
I think
question
that's
is
what
which
legends say, isn't it?
Which city
make a
do you-
history
How
check.
about it?
She says Emerald Grove. You guys can make history checks if you'd
Well,
like.
I'm saying that because we're looking for inspiration, right?
Look, or do yours at advantage.
Really?
Yeah, it was a conflict. You would have heard stories about knights and
that's
stuff
true.
like that.
Well, it's true.
This is history.
I think it was a good thing it's an advantage.
I made a 13 for me.
That is a 16.
18.
Would my character have any idea?
No.
What did you get,
Okay.
Selena?
I got 9.
Yeah, so you guys.
Use guys.
Yeah, it was a great battle. Really, House Duas kind of went against the Diamond Crown's wishes, and they kind of just funneled all of their power and resources into destroying the Emerald Grove. And from what the stories tell, nobody really survived to tell stories of it. Where do the stories come from?
On either side.
Where do the stories come
A
from?
few people might have survived,
You know
but
what I mean? It was
nobody close to the
annihilation
action.
on both sides.
Mhm. You know that it was the tremors of the event could be physically felt all around, as if the world itself was shaking.
If we didn't mind, I mean, it would be a hell of a journey. I mean, if we were wanting to find the spot to gather ourselves, there's nothing there. The Emerald Grove is barren.
No,
But I do think that we
I'm
need to
not saying
find a
it
neutral
wouldn't be-
party.
What did you get on your history?
I got a 16, but I rolled a 17. I got -1. So I got
Secrets!
I hope
I know
the
stuff.
apples were wonderful.
I actually know stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, sorry.
Mute that fucking mic, man.
Hey, Mom!
Hey, man!
We're going to a different sort of thing.
Yeah. Hey, John, there's your other die you lost.
That was
I put
I-
2 in there because Mr. Doc knocked up when there's another dollar. Anyway.
So when people drop dice in our
It's a
game,
lovely game.
we make them pay for it.
Yeah.
So remember that whenever you guys come
Do you
play
think
with
we
us.
should do pirates? I could try to
Do you-
do pirate one shot.
And if you're playing alongside,
If you want to
us
play here
for
that
some
week,
reason,
I can do that. I have
you
a
drop dice.
level 10 that I'm working on one shot. If you want me to run.
I don't care. I know you've run lots of them.
If anybody is interested, next Friday, my
That's
friend,
one where you need like 1 million people.
we can do 12 people for that game.
Yeah, what?
I
Tell
can.
me about it.
My buddy Cranky is running a version of the late night show, which basically you are in a movie. Your characters in a movie. I can add you to the Discord. I started for
I
it,
think I'd like it because that's next
and
Friday.
it's all online.
That's next Friday.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, and I'll still host it.
Chris, you want to do that?
What's happening?
We're doing late night show.
When?
Next Friday. If you want to play, let me know.
What time?
7.
What is it? Is it a
Streams.
It's a tabletop game where you act. It's a yeah. Well, potentially multiple if you die.
Oh, even better.
Is it like just D&D?
Esque.
D&D-esque? Maybe.
Probably.
Probably not though, because I've got.
Do you have a live occasionally?
Yeah. I also have the ATWE the very next day that I'll be preparing. But we'll see.
Maybe Sarah would like to. Sarah.
So
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Sorry, we were distracting.
We were talking about other things.
So, yes, I understand. I don't think we want to go straight there. Now, I'm not saying that if we need a convening spot, if we get enough allies, that would be very symbolic.
Now?
But it's a bit out of the way. And we'd have to go past Rob's
Where?
family.
Emerald
Just
Grove.
what's ever left of it. I'm just saying,
I mean,
far in the
it definitely
future.
would be.
you know that the islands are completely gone. There is nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. When I say that it is scorched, I'm talking scorched earth, motherfucker. No, there's nothing.
Okay. Well, no, I was just like, where's a
There-
BOA?
There are
BOO. But I understand.
so like also to put it in perspective. I've told you guys this before, but
But
I'm
it's
reiterating. You know how on maps of the U.S. how they have Hawaii right next to California?
It's
That's
yes.
how this is. This
Yes.
Oh.
is way.
Okay, I
Well,
thought
yes,
it was closer.
Okay,
Just
it's
for
way away.
context, all we
Okay.
were talking about was if there was anything substantial there.
Well,
it would
scratch
be a
that idea.
symbolic gesture to be like, let's all meet at Emerald Groves and then Jack.
You could meet to the area formerly known as the Emerald
Yes,
Grove,
yes,
the Emerald Water.
Is that sort of like the artist formerly known as Prince?
Yeah.
yes. I hope the fish.
It's got a cool symbol too. Fish people, they're in the water, they're fine.
Um,
Yeah, they
We can go
Annihilated.
south to Cliffmine.
Start off.
along with those dumb elves.
It is
We have to try.
far enough away from the Diamond Lands that we could be safer there.
So you guys do think you do need to think like what would be the best place to start building allies at a place where
I
you
think
might
the
have connections, or a place that's kind of a question mark about whether or not, but would be less conspicuous for you to go to. Places that you have family ties might be places that you would get noticed quicker.
I 1000% would get noticed quicker if I went to Amhol.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think here's the thing. I think since your relationship is already adversarial, that's more of a, if we get more allies, they might listen to us better. Am I correct in assuming that?
That's kind of my hope. My relationship with my parents, it's adversarial in a sense. I've always been what they considered the black sheep. So up until, we got captured and they sent out notification that they had us, they thought I was not even in the Isles.
Well, I'll say this.
Last they knew, I was on.
A rapscallion running about the lands.
Well, no, they thought I was on a beach vacation over in the.
They thought you had absconded with your...
No, they sent me there. They sent me there.
Oh,
They sent him there on a bit of a
finding yourself.
yeah.
trip.
Well, you just there was a situation.
Oh,
What?
Rumspringer.
Yeah, Rumspringer.
No.
No.
You could say, that, Rock got into a fight in his neighborhood, and they sent him to his aunt and
Boarding
auntie
school.
in Bel Air, basically,
Yeah, okay.
to straighten out his life.
I get that, yeah.
And it didn't take very well.
A couple of guys in his neighborhood started making trouble. They were up to no good. He got in one little fight. His mom got scared. Said,
And-
"You're moving
But
to the
here's the
spectral
thing.
continent."
Here's the thing. They obviously did what they did because they still cared about you at the time. So there is hope. I have no hope because my parents are dead. But my other family is alive, and I imagine that they might be very upset that my parents are dead. And so they may be motivated to work with us. But also on the radar of the crowd. And I don't want to cause them more trouble. Which is why I'm pondering if we can get to allies in Amethyst Isles, then we have a more compelling force of sorts to go into the more looked upon areas. There are a bunch of bookers there guarding things, and we have some Amethyst Isles allies. It might be a bit easier to deal with. So I don't know about you. I don't want to fight 20 of Booker without some backup.
Well, especially if they're quite as determined as I am.
Cliffmire would be the closest in the Amethyst Isles. If we wanted to get closer to Amhol, where I'm from, Millside is south of there.
The problem is we have to go there with something, right? We have to go there because to rally behind our cause, we have to have a reason.
Well,
I know that the reason can be as simple as, well, we don't like the way the Diamond Crown is running things, but...
Well, I was...
there could
I'm
be
thinking-
potentially an opportunity when we get there that they already have people that are on that way, and we just ally ourselves that way.
Yeah.
Well, and also I think that if we can find somebody that's sympathetic to what happened to us, assassination attempt, essentially. If we can send that story to them, they might be a little bit more sympathetic to our
This
cause.
doesn't really need... This is out of character, but, they know about Lilith now, so I feel like I can ask this question. Open it. Did you not say, though, that there were, demon lords posted all throughout?
She said that the demons are infiltrating
Yes.
your realm, so they're probably all across your continent.
So it's also entirely possible that there may be a demon trying to infiltrate, to sway them into the direction of the crowd.
Which also makes you think maybe the reason why the purple cloaks were in Hardmire in the first place were to foster that relationship between demons and lords. You don't know.
I'm just
Maybe
saying
it was the
we're
other
kind
side of that coin.
might say we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
So,
And if it happens to be that they're on the side of the demons and we get rid of the demon that's controlling them, they'll be probably more likely to go to our side.
I hope it's not as powerful as the mushroom, maybe.
We don't know until we go.
Or my mistress.
going to Cliffmire is the least conspicuous, the most inconspicuous of
Routes.
Yes.
Wait,
places to go of all the suggested areas.
Okay.
It is
We're
the
like-
one that you would have the least amount
like
of sway
right
in
here.
and least amount
Yeah.
of like leg up in, like,
Negotiation.
yes.
So
you just keep that in mind.
My other proposal is we take the risk and we go to Summerfield first, even though it is conspicuous, and we have that allyship, and then we go and we say, look, we have the Elven Kingdom of Summerfield on our side. Get with the program. They're your neighbors to the south. I realize it. I think we're just with.
Well,
Which risk do we want to take?
Is there any
I'm gonna
leverage we
ask-
can get with going to Hall at all?
I think that if
I
we
mean-
go to Amel, they're going to say, "You've been a naughty boy," and then lock the rest of us
Um,
up.
I think the question that you need to ask
Right now.
is how much do you trust your mother?
Well, she's dead, so
I thought you.
You also know that your dad and your eldest sister,
Your mother's family, I should say.
yeah.
your dad and your eldest
very
sister
good.
probably are not in Amhole at the moment.
They're not. They were at the
hoping to
Diamond
kill
City.
you
No.
They were going to the Diamond City
They-
to.
yeah.
for the wedding. Yes.
Yeah, the eldest child, or the
Yes.
eldest available child, went to bless the crown's wedding.
I know it had siblings.
So you guys keep that in mind.
Yes, I have.
Probably a lot of like head lords and ladies are probably not.
That's all what's cracked up to be.
They're probably not at their.
Cities,
station.
yeah.
That's true. I don't know. I'm going to say Summerfield, but I mean, I obviously had a good relationship with my mother's family. And what's their power level?
Over 9,000!
I don't know how to say, but you know what I mean.
Well,
They're elves, they're an
I'm,
old society, right?
I'm thinking Summerfield as well, since if you've got
You
if
do
you've got
know that
confidence in that
Cliffmire
you can-
is kind of on the way, so if you wanted to just kind of stop in and
It could be a good.
Hello, grandmother, father.
It
Right?
could be
No.
a nice detour,
Cliffmire,
and
which
out
is
of
the purple
Yes.
cooks.
Yeah.
it could be a
We'll be
nice.
That's on the way.
We would probably need to
Ish.
stop there anyway to get supplies.
Yes.
And you guys could probably trade some
Well,
of the
how
animals and
about
stuff
this?
you had there.
If they don't murder
They don't
us
necessarily
and
know what
turn us-
ship
I know.
you're on.
If they
True.
don't murder us and turn us in, but they're sort of like, well, you don't really have any power, so we're not really into it. But then we say, oh, but we're going to Summerfield to talk to the elves. So then we could, you know what I mean? We can start the conversation.
What did you want to know about
I
Summerfield?
mean, was my,
The-
my how powerful are they? I said, what's their
They
power level?
are pretty well off and pretty powerful. They are definitely favored by House Leon. That probably is held into question now, seeing as their granddaughter, which is you.
Well, and their
was
daughter
killed.
was murdered.
Yes,
That would make it
well,
a bit
you were
adversarial.
supposedly murdered
Yes.
too. You know that your grandma and grandpa are still in power there. Your grandma and grandpa had 2 kids, 2 daughters. Your mom, Vola, and your aunt, Sorel. They're House Pollard, in case you forgot that. Sorel is the youngest daughter. She died in childbirth. And you do have one cousin who is in under
So
custody
she
of
died
your...
giving birth to a child.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So Sorrel is dead.
yes, and shortly after your uncle,
Uncle.
her
Her husband.
took his own life too.
Oh.
Yeah.
My family is full of tragedy.
Yep.
No
And
sides.
You met your cousin maybe once whenever he was a baby, but he is the heir to...
To the throne there.
Yes.
Because he's probably like a full-blooded elf or something.
Yes. But you know his name is Thalen. Grandpa, his name is Cedric. Grandma's name is Evelyn. I can put all this stuff in more at some point. But your grandma and grandpa are taking care of your cousin.
How old is my cousin?
He's about 6 now, 5 or 6.
That's adorable.
Pretty young.
I don't want anything to happen.
It's been close to like half a decade since you've been.
Yeah, I was probably just there for the book to say, oh, hello, little cousin.
Yeah, so you would have been there for the birth, and more importantly, you would have been there for the funerals.
Also, I'd like to add that since if I'm going to be wearing my armor, I'm going to blend it a little bit better since my cape is to her family.
Yes, then maybe not.
Well, that's to your dad's family.
Well, yes.
But that is to House Villeneuve, not House Pollard.
Oh.
House
Well-
Villeneuve and House Pollard are tied
Right,
together,
right.
but
Not anymore, I suppose. I would like them to be. I'm
That's-
still alive after all.
Right, but it's going to be a little bit more,
But
a little bit easier for
you
us
know
to
what I'm
move around.
saying? I think we just try. We're going to have to. We're
I-
going to have to try that.
Well, either way, like Nate said,
because
that we're
one way or another, we are the odds against
So-
us. So
well, word will
Um,
spread very quickly,
yes.
if it has not already. But by the time you guys would be able to sail, it would take you a few weeks, depending on where you're going. Basically, everybody would. So that would sow the seeds of whatever conflict might
That's
arise out of this.
So the only place we have a little chance to really get ahead of the narrative is probably around the south.
Yes,
And I
they
mean, a
would
little
probably
bit.
form their own opinions on everything.
Yes.
They wouldn't have any like blood binding, kind of like swaying one
Well-
way or another.
So we complete our case.
Well, like
Try.
what Nate said, we probably are going to have to resupply at Cliffmart anyway that we can get feelers in there. And if it looks like we're not wanted there, then we can move along and head to your mother's side of things and see if we can try our butts there.
But back to House Pollard, they allied themselves with House Leon whenever King Leon usurped House Cordoba. Just making sense.
Mhm.
The king now, when he came to power, House Pollard helped them. But they have not recently, like since then, kind of fallen out of grace, leading to kind of a strained relationship
Well,
between
it's
the royal
really
courts.
strange now.
The
Because think about it.
reason of that you don't really know.
I know now.
You do know House Pollard. Their symbol's a white sun with crossed swords. Kind of cool. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. We stop in the Amethyst Isles because by the time we get to Summerfield anyway, words are going to be spread and precarious positions will be had. But if we can go there with maybe a shot at some allies, that might reassure my grandparents. I'm not saying that they wouldn't still want to protect me because they've lost a lot already, but you know, they may be doing so without any allies, and that is a recipe for disaster.
Well, I think that we should just make our stop in Cliffmart, resupply, get some feelers out there. If it seems like they're not really happy with us, we make our way out and we head to grandparents. And
Because here's the thing, I
think
know that
that's
your
that's
family
about the only thing that
may
we're going to be able to do.
Not inclined to be very helpful, but if we can prove that we have swayed some of the other houses, maybe your family will finally have to listen to.
Part of it is with the way these demons are infesting I want to know their connection with what's going on.
Infested by demons?
I think the crown is.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Can I tell
if
them
that is the case,
Can I tell them about that?
But what?
The white dragon. Don't you know about that?
What do you know about?
Isn't it a demon?
You know about that, yes.
That's what I was going to say. Shouldn't I
It's
tell them
not.
that?
It's not a white. It's diamond.
Diamond. Yes. Shouldn't I tell them? I feel like this is a good time to tell them about
Well,
that.
I mean, I know about the diamond
You guys
dragon
know
one, but I don't know that it's a demon.
You guys know
Tell us
that
about-
King Leon
Yes.
wanted to marry a diamond dragonborn. The reason why is shrouded in mystery. He obsessed over it. Couldn't find one, so he's like, well, fuck it. I'll just have my heir, and then we'll try to find one for him. And they tried and tried and tried. Couldn't find one. They're like, okay, fine. We'll marry off my son to another powerful house. They'll have a kid. Then we can try to get this diamond dragonborn. We're going to try. Whenever that wedding was about to take place, a
Suddenly
diamond
one appeared
dragonborn.
very conveniently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you remember who founded that dragonborn?
Let me see.
House Durinay. Another powerful house in the Crystal Vale, adjacent to your ancestral lands and kind of at odds with House Felinae.
Yes. Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Very convenient.
so this dragonborn is a demon, you're saying?
Well, so here's the thing. We already know that there's a war going on now. The demons are winning. But for them, at least, hell is not enough. They want more than hell. They want to take over the entire realm, top to bottom. And they're doing it. Obviously, Zugtimoy usurped your aunt's lands, and it behooves them to usurp other lands.
That's what I'm looking for, is the proof that way
Yes.
my family can act in the best interest of the country.
Yes. I mean, I don't have any proof.
That's why we need to find it before I go
That's
home.
what I'm. Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. Before I just go back and be like, hey, I'm here. There's demons everywhere.
Do you remember a lot of the Lilith? Have you indulged that with them?
Well, no, not. I mean, now I will. I mean, they've literally
So, if
bent the knee.
Yep. So you told them about the demons' plan to rise
Yes, they want-
through the
yes,
ranks of
yes.
the political houses of this
Yes.
world. You know that the
I haven't told them about-
these are all what Lilith told you, by the
Yes.
way, too.
Yes. This is one version of the story.
Yes. She told you that the Diamond Dragonborn is actually a demon prince named Grisat, the demon prince of pleasure,
Yes,
decadence, and unlimited
Grisat.
self-indulgence, as well as the patron of corrupt authorities and tyrants who rule by force.
He's really feeding on this.
But he has manifested himself in a Diamond Dragonborn
Lady.
bride. Yes. She also told you that Orcus has taken over Nessus, which is the 9th level of hell.
Yes, and that is where he's keeping Asmodeus.
Yes.
Your
Asmodeus
lady
is
husband.
trapped. Orcus was not able to kill Asmodeus, is what Lilith told you, but Orcus was able to trap him.
And Lilith wants her husband back because that is how she enjoys true power. Not so she can continue to whisper.
Girls
here.
help girls. Slay, queen, slay.
Look, I realize it's not the ideal deal. And I'm not saying that she, isn't going to make it difficult for us, but when evil rises on all sides, we just have to sort of pick one, I suppose.
Sammy, where do you see yourself in this grand scheme of things?
You could become Lord Sammy one day.
You're stuck right in the middle of it. That's one thing you know.
I just want to make sure that everybody I've came to care about, at least for the moment, remains perfectly fine and alive.
Perfectly splendid.
Jesus Christ.
And maybe,
I thought the exact same thing.
and maybe someday when we're done, when we've saved this realm, well, never mind.
Well,
Sammy.
you can speak your mind here.
Yeah.
We're all friends here. Maybe you need another shot of that stuff to get loosen that tongue of yours.
Is this something that you've talked to Nate about before?
Not fully,
But you brought up, not necessarily fully, but you've made mention of.
probably.
Okay. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. But you are among friends.
I've got my devils out in the open, so don't feel too badly.
Suppose that's true. As you all have probably guessed, unless I've said so and I have forgotten, I am from the Feywild.
I don't think they would have guessed that ever,
You
Sammy.
should tell us about the tiny bunny people. But you were a big one.
Yes, there was Hoppet Acres.
You were a bit out of place.
Yes, I never really knew my mother. I just know that she was maybe a herbalist. And I was adopted. She worked at a place called Hare. It was called Herbal Antidotes Remedies Extraordinaires.
Clever.
You sounded a little French when you said
This,
extraordinaire.
this was in the Fae, correct?
Yes. But I had an adopted family.
Something wrong with that.
Normally, there isn't. But our village was. Now, this is the part that nobody really knows.
Listen up.
Our village was. Well, it was. I want to say it was cursed. These things called lankies.
Monkeys.
Lanky. Lanky.
There's an IE. Lankies. Lanky with a Y if it's singular.
Okay. Alright.
But the Lankies, they would occasionally attack the village and steal the children. But they looked eerily like me. They had the same figures, but they were coated in black. My mother, Sarah, not my real mother, she made headbands, which is why I make the little crowns. She did not ever really care for me all that much. She was rather suspicious of me because of my appearance. My father tried to be kind. His name was Walter. He was a builder, a woodcrafter. I had a stepbrother. His name was Dare. He was kind of a pain. We didn't really see eye to eye on a lot, and we butted heads constantly. He was like... We were always not trying to compete. He might have been, but really I was just trying to have a brother. But I had a sister, too. She was a little one. And in the middle of the night, there was a sound of glass breaking. And when I went to go run to Jessica's room, a lanky was standing outside of the window holding her. And then he left. And before I could do anything, the family walked in on me, and Jessica was gone. The whole village kind of thought I was behind it, and instead of risking me in the populace anymore, they imprisoned me. Probably safe than sorry, I suppose. I don't know what happened in the village after that, but I was in prison in a very small cage for nearly a decade before I This is just weird. Just a key was dropped off, appeared. I'm not really sure. I don't remember, but the key appears. It was this key.
What you do remember about that is kind of like a bright warm lights kind of surrounded you, and a warm set of hands reached out to yours, and felt comfort of like a mother's comfort.
I just remember warmth and caring, and then I found the key, and it unlocked the door. And when I stepped out, it took a while, but I started to realize I was no longer in the Feywild. I was just here. Part of me wishes someday we get back to the Feywild, although it very much scares me. I don't want to be back in that cage again. But I also want to know what happened to my sister. And I know she's not my real sister, but she was the only one who ever smiled at me in that family. She's the only one I ever really cared about. She was a friend, and I know she was too young to know. Me is me, she was still just a child. But she thought I was funny.
Oh, you are.
And I want to stop this village from being attacked by these Lankies. And I'm starting to fear that maybe they were right to imprison me. I don't know what that darkness is they see in me.
No. You're nothing like what these Lankies are. You may share their appearance or a similar appearance to them. You're not a Lanky.
Then
I've seen you have one of the biggest hearts. You're not one to kidnap a poor child. And you've said it yourself. You want to try to help your sister. And like, if anybody tried to, I'll do everything in my power to keep you from getting out of prison again. If we ever make it to your Feywild to rescue your village or find your sister, make sure that no one tries to imprison you again.
I'm going to tell you something that's Sunny.
Hmm.
You might have darkness in you, but sometimes it's just about how you use it. You don't have to use it for ill. I have darkness in me now, and I'm just going to try not to use it for bad things.
I'm so very scared that it was me. Somehow. I don't know. I'm so very scared now. Ever since they saw that darkness in me, I'm so very scared that I'll get back over there. And maybe I was in prison for 10 years and they never released me because it stopped.
I don't think you're the one who did that. I think they put that thought into your mind, not you. You're not the one who's
Do you know what they say about children? It's that they can see the best in people and see the good things because they haven't learned about the bad things, most of them yet. And your sister obviously saw the good in them. She wasn't jaded like everyone else in the village. So maybe that's why. Just like Sansi's little siblings. They didn't sense anything bad in them. And children have sort of a feeling for those things, I think.
I
Maybe.
do also just think that Cersei's siblings really like Sir Kanyu too, and they have quite a bit of evil in him.
We gotta get through this. We can see this in one day.
Well, I hope you're right. And I hope this darkness in me isn't real.
Well, yeah. Come here. Any little darkness that you have, you can just give it to me. I can take all the more that you have. I have plenty to take and plenty of room.
I don't know how to get it out.
And you know what? If it becomes too much, Sammy, you don't have to deal with it alone. We can deal with our darknesses together. So I think we've all got.
Shake it out.
We've got.
Shake it. Shake it.
I've got some. Booker has some. Locke has some.
Well,
Cersei has some.
Cersei used to kill people for a crime boss.
Yeah.
well,
Darkness doesn't mean you have to always do darkness.
I just want you to know, I'm not trying to convince us to go to the Feywild right now. I just. Maybe someday. When I have the courage.
No.
And we have the time.
Well,
There's much more pressing matters, it feels like.
well, there's a bit of a war to continue
Yeah.
with, but
It's
you know
all.
what? If we do this right and we get more allies, maybe with having a help, we can show those Lankies what for. And I'll have some words for your sort of mean village, perhaps.
Well, my father was
Stern
okay. The stepfather, he wasn't that bad. He was trying.
Or less stern words then.
Yes. So are we going to Cliffmire then?
Cersei, what do you think?
Oh.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard because it feels like either way it's going to be a risk. It's just where we think we're going to pay off more. I mean, I just see it going either way. I worry about getting caught up in the water. I mean, I thought we didn't really go to hell. Yeah.
No, I think we just have to take a risk in Cliffmire. We're going to take a risk no matter where we go. So.
Well, like Nate said, that we're gonna have to get resupplies anyway, so we might as well make a stop in Cliffmire and
Did
see
I
what
hear my country?
see what we see.
Really? I'm putting this in the fridge.
Well, should we? Is it not time yet?
You can take a nap whenever you want to.
No,
It's nighttime, yeah.
Alright.
He wants
Shall
to
we?
burn his friend.
Shall we send Sir Conyo on his way?
Yeah, I can imagine there's probably a small little boat that
Rights, can't you?
There's
we
not a-
wouldn't miss.
Not that kind of
No,
paladin.
but you could probably gather you could function some sort of like raft or
Okay.
something like that. That would be appropriate.
That would be something I would put together, and when we send him off, I will, that other bottle of rum that I have, it's going to be full as I leave it on there as we push it away.
Okay. Do you? I imagine you would use some of the more muscly people's
Fuck yeah.
Knock it
No,
on
you're
your
going to have to hold up yourself.
That's why I'm just putting a bottle there.
I promise
No,
you,
I'm-
it's
I'll-
not me. I am not the muscly one.
Compared to us two, you are.
I've got a
I think
10.
This is basically me.
I have
Which
a
one do you-
negative.
which one
Nine.
We're just trying to they're trying to assemble kind of like a makeshift raft and get Sarkanyo's body. I imagine you would help that also.
Yeah, I can, we can kind of help. I mean, it's not. I mean,
Bean, can you help?
Yeah. No,
No.
you're asking like
No.
What am I thinking?
You're also would be
That was
asking like somebody like the size of a chicken to help.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I suppose I can use Entangle to help use the vines to push it away.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know where the hell they would sprout out of.
No,
Don't want them sprouting out of the shit, putting holes in it, so we won't do that.
So over the next hour or so, you guys can gather, make a little makeshift raft, get it nice.
planks.
Yeah, you can rest Sarkanyo's body on there, kind of make it look as good as you can with the situation, and prepare him for his final rest. Are you guys doing anything before you send him
If there would have
to
been
whatever
time,
god he may please?
if there would have been time, I would have spent quite a while druid crafting several
Yeah,
lavender flowers around him.
absolutely. You can spend as much time on that as you want, but within an hour, you could probably get a nice kind of wreath going around his, top part of his body.
I can sort of press vegetation him to look as good as.
So he's completely wrapped up
Oh,
in this.
I've got him wrapped up so he doesn't fall apart.
Okay, good.
He's kind of split in two. I'm trying to keep him together.
It's a closed casket affair.
I've got nothing else to do but set him aflame, so I've got.
Yeah, that's fine. Or push him out, and I can just, if you would like one of my arrows.
I could do that, yes.
When he gets about 60 feet
So you guys
away.
push him out?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you do send off Sarkanyo's body, he does begin to drift
And then I'll do my
into the
little.
ocean.
Use some of his dry druid craft to ignite. Use my sparks to ignite.
Cersei, you do see one of your arrows as Vivian touches it catch fire.
Can I use fairy fire and make little purple mist, little sprinkles fall on him as he's moving away?
So Cersei, you do draw back your bow and fire. Such a shot at close range, I'm not going to have you roll for. But you do connect, and he does begin to burn.
Baby.
For 10 minutes or so, you see the fire grow and then begin to subside as he gets further and further in the distance. And eventually you see nothing. Just the darkness of the sea.
Amoy. May your soul find peace, Sarkanyo.
Wipe the tears off my face. So where are we heading?
To Cliffmire.
Well,
So as you do kind of get ready just to take a rest, Booker, you do contemplate putting on your armor again. Well, you do get ready for bed. Booker, as you do kind of take off, the heavier part of your clothing so you can get comfortable, you do lift up your pant leg.
Right. Oh boy.
You notice that where your skin kind of meets this bone has receded about another inch, like the bone is growing. Or your body is shrinking and the bone is...
More of your flesh is disappearing.
Yeah.
I've got some severe muscle apathy.
And Sammy, you do look over and see this, and then you recall that...
Oh right,
You-
I saw that just today. Your flesh is going away still.
Oh, that's not quite.
Is it a curse?
I'm not sure about
Do I
that.
know?
I
Can I
just
do
I
an
imagine
arcana check?
yes.
Sure.
Perhaps.
Eventually, you'll just be one big bone man.
I mean, a skeleton.
I mean, your leg is still. You can move your bones. Can you
I'm
move his
assuming I can
toes
move
on
my
his
toes
skeletal
on-
foot?
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll just be a skeleton man.
What'd you get?
I don't.
One.
Ooh.
I don't think that'd be.
You have no
quite a
idea.
good
I don't know that sort of
Well, at
magic.
least you'll still be undead. I mean to say,
He's from hell.
no,
I'm gonna wait for this.
you are partially undead right now. I think.
He is cursed, mistress.
Maybe. I don't. I don't think I quite feel undead. I don't think I'm quite dead yet.
I'm gonna say you're about 5% undead.
If I into the river Styx, he is cursed.
Oh dear.
You will become one of them.
One of the dead.
One of the souls of the river Styx.
Oh, he'll probably be called back to it, huh? Oh dear.
Sounds pretty metal.
Well,
It will overtake him.
then we need to find somebody who knows a thing or two about curses. Side quest. Add that to the list. Add the Feywild and removing a curse because you.
You do know-
Does this count as a transformation? If I hit him with Moonbeam, will he turn into a skeleton or a human again?
Amethyst Isles are
I'm not
full
quite
of.
sure. I mean, that would be a kind of an interesting experiment, but I don't really want to find out and see if it happens.
It only hurts a little bit with the radiant energy.
Well, I don't think you say a little bit, but it hurts a lot of people, no matter if they're they're a demon or whatever they are, and it hurts a lot, especially if you stay in the beam for quite a while. As far as I know.
So do we need to just drop your foot back in the river Styx again and double dip it and see if that reverses it?
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, I
Should go
don't
back to
want to
even you
go.
out, though. At least then you'll have two of the same foot.
If we're looking for somebody who can break curses, we are going to the Amethyst Isles.
Yeah, I've worked out a magic.
That's true. They are very magic-y boys over there.
Yeah, you guys are going to Cliffmire. They're known for more transmutation magic.
See, transmutation.
Well,
you are
I guess so.
mutating.
They
I am
do
transforming.
specialize in all magics, as each kind of area has their own specialty, but it's not to say that other kinds of magic are
Also,
non-existent.
we're going there in a bit of a debt to begin with, so it may be a bit of a.
Like, hey, I'm
So-
I'm the queen. Can you help me?
Hello.
Also, look at his
Great
foot.
people.
Isn't it gross? Fix that.
Great
Can you
people
fix
there
my
in the
foot?
Styles. Your queen has arrived. Will you please fix my friend's foot? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh no, it might be pretty cool at some parties to show off.
But
Anyway.
that's about all that you notice. It'll take you about a week and a half to get there, so like about 15 days or so. We're going to fast forward to there, and we'll pick up
Is this good?
next time we
Next time?
play,
Okay.
which is not
Oh.
until June something.
Don't worry, everyone. There will be plenty of content in the interim.
June 13th, so about a month
Jesus.
away.
Rob, tell them what the next content is. While they wait with bated breath.
Right, so
Well, if we're all wrapping up,
we
Yeah,
all
we-
wrapping?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Oh, this was a short session.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
kind of had to wrap up that end stuff, and that's basically the end of Act 1, essentially.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
Act 2, book
We're
is full.
finally out of jail. Officially.
Well,
And man, does it
not
feel
quite.
good.
So
we're still bound
We're still chained.
we're still bound to Lilith.
So,
yep, chapter 1 of Chains of Perdition is done. Join us for chapter 2.
so thanks everybody who tuned in to join us on this crazy little adventure with Skellyfoot over there. Coming up next week on Tuesday, we have some Nicole at night.
Nikki at night.
On-
Say my real name.
If that's even
That's
your
my
real
cursed
name.
Your cuss name.
My cursed name.
On Wednesday,
That's the name when I'm in trouble.
Jonathan will be playing some retro games.
Trying to get me to listen.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Next Friday, for the Singularity, my friend Cranky Coyote is going to be running a different tabletop game than we're used to seeing. It is a variation of a game called It Came from the Late Show. He simplified the rules a little bit to make it a little bit not as complex. Basically, we will be in a movie, characters in a movie. I just ran one of those with him this last week. We kind of basically did a version of The Thing. It's a fun little way to do it. Your characters are going to be standard array, and then you roll, and you could potentially get bonuses based on circumstance. If you have somebody helping you, you get a +2. If it's something that you traditionally would be good at as your character, you could potentially get another bonus to that.
Nice.
It's a fun little setting. Some other people who have not been on the stream, I think, are going to be on that. I know with that Singularity game, I have been getting more and more people who aren't regulars. So, yeah, that'll be fun. But as always, we're playing for Extra Life. Oh, we're going to set up some stuff for...
Dancing with bony toes.
Yep. MPP.
I'm tap dancing with my bony toe, I guess.
That's what he does.
Next time you see us in this room, we're going to be celebrating a wedding.
Well, maybe. Well, see you in this room.
I mean,
A wedding will happen.
nothing bad will happen at this wedding whatsoever.
As always, we play for Extra Life. Give back, game on, play games, heal kids. I saw a post from Extra Life today. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is Lifetime, but Extra Lifers have raised over $140 million for Children's Miracle Network.
That's a lot of money raised. Helping a lot of kids.
Yes. You can visit potatoplacegaming.com. There you can get to our schedule of events. You can get to our latest streams. You can get to our archive. You can get to our Extra Life page. And you can get to our shop. We have some Chains of Perdition merch there right now. We have...
That's it.
Nope.
I forgot. Anyway, well, there's the other
That's
thing.
John's fault.
John, you fucked up.
I
John,
did what
you
you
did.
told me to do.
John, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
There's some Chains of Perdition merch. The Chains of Perdition logo, which you can see there at the bottom left of the screen.
Bottom right.
Whatever. It's left on my end.
Yeah. Right there.
That is on a bunch of t-shirts, some stickers and whatnots, and then the character portraits that were done by Julian at Astral Grave. I modified that so you can purchase basically the group portrait of all of us with the Chains of Perdition logo above it.
And Rob had to do some finagling with that, so bravo, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
It was, that was why I was waiting on the logo, because otherwise it would have looked real bad.
Thank you, Lilith, for giving us our name.
I think that's it.
Next Sunday.
Oh, yeah, next Sunday.
Well, next Saturday.
Well, no.
This
For him.
coming
This
Saturday,
upcoming Saturday.
not tomorrow, but the next Saturday is the ATWE part 2
Yes.
Yeah.
This Saturday
of that mini
and then the
campaign.
following.
If you'd like
No,
to be
not even the following Sunday.
No,
If
it'll be
you'd
May
like to
25th.
be notified
Yep,
of whenever
May
that goes
25th.
live, join the Discord and you will be notified.
Yeah.
So, but lots of good drama over there. The Yamoda world of YouTube.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama for your character.
So much.
Oh, you just wait.
I have
Y'all.
parents-
Oh, I know mine's coming because I have a family in that campaign, and I'm waiting to see what happens with that.
I just apparently create characters that are prone to horrible drama.
And she calls me an edgelord.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
I didn't
Join
make
us
that
next
guy's
time.
an edgelord, to be fair.
Nikki.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace.
It has been said. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wrong game.
Wrong one.